What's up, everybody? Hope everyone had a good week. I know I did, busy but good. Never get to share this out and all the links to the episodes and the links to the show's channels as well across everything to the laps you prefer, because every little bit helps. And quick question: if I tried to keep episodes shorter, did more lives on YouTube throughout the week for some stuff, so that stayed consistently long, would anyone actually go there and check that out to do that instead of longer episodes? Let me know what you think about that in the comments. I might do it anyway, but you know, it'd be a way to save a lot of time. And that's not a bad thing to get them all in, in a shorter amount of time. But with all that being said, there's a lot of racing this weekend. I'm really excited to see what could happen this weekend because there's a lot of racing from both across this country and here in America. And then, around the world, we have people on track doing things, which is really, really exciting. This is, favorite time of the year. We get to do, episodes twice a week then, just because there's so much going on. F1, 2, and 3 are starting soon. Got F1 testing right now. Formula E's all over the place. Formula, the whatever the W series turned into. Can't think of it on the top of my head. I'm, trying right there. There's a lot of good IndyCar starting. American Flat Track's going to start. Moto America is going to start. Like, there's a lot of stuff kicking off. This is the best time of the year for all of that because it keeps me preoccupied, not having to worry about anything else. And that stuff really, really excites me. I like it. Hopefully you guys like it. Going to start off with the ABB FIA Formula E Cape Town E-Prix. First time ever there. Second straight race in a new location for them after Diriyah. And there's yet another one coming next week. And, well, the next race, which gives them 3 straight tracks and countries at the first time being there, which I think is a very, it's a really cool thing to see them growing and expanding everything because they have races, all over the world. They have racers from all over the world, manufacturers, and it's really, I think, cool just, open up new markets for, motorsports at all because, you get an interest in motorsports in places that possibly didn't have one or a lot of it, that could bring more eyes there, more racing there, which is good for the racing community altogether. But really excited for this one, 30-lap race. And so far this year, we've seen Pascal Wehrlein dominate. He really has. He's been right there, minus, one slip up of a race. And that wasn't even a big slip up, just didn't run as good, but dominating so far. And like the points show it right now, he's got an 18-point lead over second place Jake Dennis. And then you get back to Jean-Eric Vergne and Sebastian Buemi, who are third and fourth, respectively, but they're both at 31 points. Now might I add, he's sitting at 80 points in the lead is Verline, and Jake Dennis is second at 62 points. So those two are sitting at 31. Third and fourth of, half of what second place does. So that's a big, number right there for those two to be 31 behind second place and 49 behind the leader. And everyone else is obviously farther back than that, but he's, been consistent. He's been fast. We'll see what happens here. Again, new track. So it's a new experience for everybody, but he's absolutely, been dominating, and I don't expect anything different to happen here just because he's always found a way to be there. And something he didn't see a lot, at least I didn't as much last year, was he has made his way through the pack when he has had to and made passes and got his way to the front. So the car's fast as hell. And I don't see it stopping. Last season's champion, Stoffel Van Dorn. We all know I love the guy. I always wondered where he went, after he was gone from Formula One. And again, I didn't have, TV or anything. So it's not like I could watch all the racing and go, ooh, there he is. So it was good to see him pop up. But right now he is currently 16th in the points and only has 5 points. And I know it's new car, new team, new everything. For him, it's a new car for everyone, but he's had a new team there. But he's got to figure that out because right now 75 points back at this stage. I know they still have a while to go, but that is a giant hole to have to try to climb back from just to, get anywhere close. Because if he keeps running, it's going to take slip ups, a few of them. But, he has looked progressively a little better every race. He just hasn't looked good enough to get up there and do anything about it. So we have to wait and see how that goes. But really cool racing, really cool, cars. Again, I like this year's car. as compared to the last model, it has given us better racing so far. Will people figure it out? Possibly, just any little bit here, but really good racing, between the new car and the new tire. And I think it's going to keep up here. A bunch of hairpins this weekend. Cool stuff going on. I'll put the track map up here shortly, but Sunday, 8:30, that's AM on the CBS Sports Network if you want to watch it, or set the damn DVR. Because again, debut for ABB Formula E in Cape Town. I think it's going to be a really, good race again. Second straight of 3 at new tracks. And people are way racy with the new car and tire. So if you haven't done it, please check it out for me. You'll like it. It's really good stuff. F1 testing in Bahrain right now. So it's finally coming. Thank God. Can't wait to see what all the faces, new places do, like Fernando Alonso and Aston Martin, Nico Hulkenberg back in Formula One at Haas F1, replacing Mick Schumacher, which I'm sure Mick will get, he'll get one again down the line somewhere. It's where he was, finally getting points, and then he just fell off a cliff last year, and it didn't. I didn't like seeing it. I respect his dad, I respect him, and all that, but I had to go from where he was to there. It had to happen, but I want to see what Fernando Alonso can do there. There's a lot of moving parts. Opening weekend, next weekend, with the running of the Gulf Air Bahrain GP. I will have the map up for that and everything coming shortly. Full on. I talk about it next week, throughout the week, and on Friday's episode. Really excited that's going to happen. I might talk about it fully on Friday and throughout the week, just because I really do like the guys in F1. Formula 2 and 3 will be there as well. And again, F1 racing. Do I expect, Max to go out and dominate? Yeah, I expect him to dominate like he did last year. Do I expect people to possibly be slightly closer just because there was such a big gap? I can hope, but he was so far ahead, even with the money fines and all that. I don't see it making that big of a difference because he was just gone. Even from his own teammate, he was gone. So see how that goes. But I do want to see, again, all the new faces, see what they can do. There's a lot of people that have Alpine has, new lineup. Aston Martin has new guys. Haas has new guys. And there's a lot of teams that have new driver lineups. And I really want to see what those guys can do in their new teams. So some of the guys are just moving over, after all kinds of stuff for years and years with the team. And I just want to, I'm curious to see how they go. And, has Mercedes figured it out? Because, by the end, they looked better, at least. I mean, if you watch the beginning, they didn't look good at all. George looked better for the most part, George Russell. See what Lewis Hamilton can do. But again, if they could just get more consistent, if they come out more consistent and closer, I think by the end of the year, they'll be right in there again. I would just like to see them way closer than they were at the beginning of last season. Because you watched last season, they were off by a year and a half. I mean, they were just gone. So hopefully it's better. I think it will be better just because it's been so long, and the gap, how they closed the gap last year. Only time will tell. I don't know, but that should be really good. And I'm excited to see them, next weekend. It's about time. Does that mean I'm going to have to start getting up really early on Sundays again for the most part? Yeah. Just to catch those live, because, the time difference from on the other side of the planet. But really good racing if you never watched it. And again, last year, even with Max Verstappen just out by a year, the racing behind him was good. So really excited for them to start next weekend. Supercross is in Arlington this weekend at the Jerry Dome, Jerry Land, whatever you want to call that big thing that I'm pretty sure is bigger than my hometown that I grew up in, square mileage wise. You count the borough limit, I'm pretty sure we could fit it inside that stadium. But gate drop is 8 p.m. Saturday on Peacock, so make sure to watch it. And then if you're looking for the re-air, they're not doing you any favors. It's Sunday, 1 a.m. on CNBC. They worked hard on that one. But if you have Peacock, it'll be there for you. I, try to watch them live, but I do highly recommend going on Peacock and watching the replay on Sunday, because so far it actually hasn't let me down, no matter how much I had to fast forward to anything. There's a little slowness in some of it, to fast forward and get it playing again or rewinding, but it goes right through everything and makes it really fast. And that part of the app has been functioning well, no matter how much the wrestling side of it absolutely sucks. We could do about that, but really excited for this one. It's a Triple Crown event for both the 450s and the 250 East. I personally enjoy the Triple Crown events more than, I guess we'd say, the normal ones. No heat races, no LCQs, to be there whole field set through qualifying and all that. And again, there are some LCQs to do all that, but you don't get to see it. Just 3 races for each, and whoever has the least amount of points at the end of those races wins. And again, first place gets 1 point, and all the way up. And then whoever has the lowest by the end of those 3 races is the winner of the overall, which means they have to go in every race. It can't be like they slip in a heat race, but they're 5th, so they just coast and keep going to make sure they don't do anything else stupid, because they know they're in the main event. They have to go, and I think it ratchets everything up, way more than the normal events, again, because they have heat races. If you're good, you have a gap, you could take it easy until you get there. There's no points on the line. It's stuff like that. This one's pretty much 3 main events, go, go, go. And I really do think that ramps up, the aggressiveness and people going for it. And I'm completely okay with that, but I want to see if Hunter Lawrence can continue his run of dominance and wins. He's looked good, even though he's had to work for some of them. He has an 8-point lead over Max Ansey, who's second. He has a 14-point lead on third place Hayden Deegan. And by the way, he's Hayden Deegan, 17. How many races has he had? Not any, really. Let's give me like his 3rd professional. The kid's a monster. So I'm sure Haley will be there because they're off this weekend in the Truck Series. But watch out for that kid. I mean, 17 years old, that kid's going to be dangerous, like sooner than later, if he's already running this good. But there's other people in striking distance. If anything stupid happens, I think Hunter will be okay. But I think it's going to be a really interesting 3 races. And the same thing goes for the 450s. Eli Tomac, he's up there doing his thing. He damn near blew it last weekend. He had bad luck when they did their last Triple Crown, the first one of the season. He took himself out on an unforced error. He's getting frustrated because he couldn't get around people, and he was set to win if he didn't, make that mistake. So see if it happens, if that happens again here, see what happens if he holds on. I think he'll be much better off this time. I'm pretty sure I remember last year in Arlington, he didn't do that bad. If memory serves me, I could be completely wrong on that, but I think he'll be good. And again, the top 3 have been so close. I think it's going to be an Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and Chase Sexton night. Just because they've pretty much been right there the whole entire time, winning the races. See if Chase Sexton, can bounce back after his 5-second lead last week when that freak accident happened again. If you haven't seen it, look for it. So a bong right into that thing. I don't know, how it happened still. It doesn't make sense to me. But see how he can bounce back from that, because he had it in his, sights, and that was an unforced error. So see how that, works out for him. But, again, Cooper Webb second, Chase Sexton's in third, 7 points back. They've been on top of each other for forever. And then if you go, have to go back, from that 7 points, you go back to Jason Anderson in fourth, who's 28 points back and 21 points behind them. So, all it takes is one bad race. Say all 3 of them go in there and take each other out and something stupid. He can take advantage and be, right in there. But so far, they've been on top of each other the whole entire time. And again, I don't think Eli's coming in here, necessarily mad, but he knows what he did in the last Triple Crown event. He took himself out. He remembers last weekend, I'm sure, where he damn near blew it. So hopefully, his focus is right back on there. And he's got all his head right, because you don't need to think about that stuff. But yeah, Triple Crowns. Like his unforced error in the last one, he had to go. And dude was making him work for it. And he wrecked himself pretty decently hard, too. So, again, let's see what he does, but I think it'll be super exciting. They're, once the gate drops, just go, go, go mode. And I'm really excited. Again, this is my favorite stretch of the Supercross thing. It's coming up. You get to see the Daytonas and, Arlington now. You get to see Daytona and what Ricky Carmichael put together for the track design there. Like, there's really exciting times coming up. And hopefully you guys set your DVRs or go on Peacock and watch it and come along for the journey, because the racing really is good all over the track. And this weekend's going to be no different, but going to be ramped up even more. So if you're going to watch one, this would be it. Peacock, 8 p.m. Saturday night re-air, 1 a.m. on CNBC on Sunday, and then again Peacock on Sunday. You need to watch the replay. It's really easy. Just go to sports. Do Supermoto Cross, and it's right there. So check that out. ARCA Series off until March at Phoenix, and that's for the Menards and West Series. East starts after that. Craftsman Truck Series off until Las Vegas on Friday, March 3rd at 9 p.m. on FS1 Series and MRN. So that's one more thing, for me to talk about next week, but I'm excited to see again what all of them can do just because they're coming off the plate track and it's a whole different world once they get off of there. But this weekend, NASCAR Xfinity Series Production Alliance Group 300. Glad to see the sponsor back. The Auto Club Speedway Saturday, 5 p.m. on FS1. And there's going to be quite a few guys going home this weekend. You have people in the entry list include Austin Dillon in the 10 for Colleague. I think that'll be really good and it'll help them out. Reddick in the 24 for Sam Hunt Racing. Ross Chastain the 91 for Mario Gosselin. The 38's on the list, I believe, of going home because of points, which they had the problems with him all year last year. Saw his brother take over the car, for a few races to get them better points. They got to figure out something with that. But a lot of guys in there. Custer won the race last year. Wasn't a series regular. Now he is driving for Haas. So I really want to see what he could do. But if you listen to the top 5 from last year, I mean, Noah Gragson second, gone. Trevor Bayne third, not there. Josh Berry fourth. Finally, we got someone there. Anthony Alfredo was fifth. But, a lot of drivers in new places. Like I said, Cole Custer's back down there. Brandon Jones moved teams. Noah's gone. I mean, Sammy Smith. There's just names. John Hunter Nemechek full-time. Like, there's a lot of names in there. This is going to be the first test. Never mind to see what those guys could do. It's really a first test to see where everyone's at to start the season. As, again, Daytona draft. Whole different, ball game. That draft makes everything even. This is a whole different ball game right here to see what everyone can do, where everyone is. I want to see, again, what some of the new faces can do. I expect, good things from Sammy Smith, John Hunter Nemechek. We know that equipment's good. Brandon Jones, just to see how long it takes him to, fully get used to driving for Chevy now after all those years of Toyota. Now that he's with Junior Motorsports. There's a lot of just moving parts. I want to see how all of them work out just because, see how people get along, see how the manufacturers are, see where the teams stand. Because that's really the big one to see who gained, who got farther ahead or ahead at all during the off season. Because you don't know at Daytona. You only find out here. You only, this is the first one. Then we're still going to find things out once we get to the 1.5 mile tracks and the short tracks and road courses. We're still going to figure stuff out. And this is the first test. So I want to see what they could do there. I know Junior Motorsports guys were good, so I'm pretty sure, last year. So I think they're going to be good again, this year. And obviously Gibbs, look at the talent they have. It's impossible for them to not be. So we'll see what they do this weekend. But I have no expectations except just seeing who's going to do what and see what teams are where. It's really what this weekend's all about. No offense to Daytona. So we'll see how that works. And then we get the Cup Series Pilot Casino 400 Sunday, 3:30 p.m. on the mothership at Fox. Thank God. Hopefully there's less commercials this week. So we can actually watch more than 3 or 4 laps at a time before they go back to caution. But 2022, top 10, Kyle Larson 1, Austin Dillon 2nd, Eric Jones 3rd, Suarez 4th, Logano 5th, Almirola 6th, Harvick 7th, Kurt Busch 8th, Hemrick 9th, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 10th. And then again, a lot of people moved around since last year. Like a lot of people. And this is just drivers off the top of my head. They're Kyle Busch now in RCR number 8, driving for Chevy instead of the 18 for Gibbs and Toyota. AJ Allmendinger in the 16 for Colleague full-time. Ryan Preece is in the 41 now full-time. Noah Gragson in the 42. Tyler Reddick with Toyota in 2311 now. Driving the 45. Ty Gibbs is in the 54. Ty Dillon's in the 77. That's just the ones I noticed. Like there's a lot of moving parts and pieces throughout all of it. And I'm really excited for, a few things. I want to see if the RFK guys can, continue to improve like they did last year, because where they started to where they finished was, night and day. And this will be the first test to see what they are this year. See how RCR and Chevy are going, with the cars they have for Rowdy's, everyone still had the debate and they said it ad nauseum last weekend. Is it a step back for, Rowdy and all that? I don't think it is, just for how Reddick ran last year. Only time will tell, but I think they're going to be dangerous by the end of the year regardless. I just want to see where they are, see what, the rookies can do. If they have a good class, see what Legacy, Motor Club can do, and how Eric Jones does, because he ran good last year. He had a bunch of good, runs last year. Had some bad luck, won a race. I want to see what he could do now that JJ's there and he has a teammate like Noah Gragson, so we can actually, bounce things off of him. Because no offense, between Noah Gragson and Ty Dillon, we all know where the talent is. So I think it'll help out the team even, more. See what Ty Gibbs does now that he's in the Cup Series in the 54. See if he brings that idiotic side that he had, overly aggressive, stupid side that he had in the Xfinity Series for a lot of time. Things like that, and see where Stuart Haas is right now, because again, where they started to where they finished last year was night and day. Minus Briscoe, kept it going there the whole time, but see how that works out. I'm very intrigued as to how that goes out. But last race there too. So don't forget that. I'm on the side of bulldoze it. Felt that way for years. I know there's people on the other side. So again, write that in the comments, whatever you think. But I thought it should have been, blown up years ago. Yes, the restarts are exciting. No one can deny that. But that was it. Like restarts in the initial start, where everyone found out was exciting. After a bunch of laps, it'd be single file. It hasn't been exciting racing in a very long time. Drivers might like it, but again, you can move around, you can do things, but minus that few fan out, they get single file quick, and then people just, it's all one car here and there coming around, which again, they're still moving, but it's a lot of follow the leader, and those on the side of repaving it. What the hell will that do? Repave it. It'll suck for 5 or 6 years until it's, however long it takes the asphalt to actually, wear down and get in. So I'm on the side of blow it up. Yeah. Bad on TV. The grandstands haven't been full in a year. They have this big problem where the grandstands and the track are so big that it was almost impossible for them to even fill them up if they wanted to, which makes it, super, difficult for them to run the damn thing at that. So I say blow it up, try over again. Again, I haven't liked the racing since, for years now. I'm just not a fan of follow the leader. We already have enough of that restrictor plates. We don't need any more of it. So enjoy this last weekend, or at least try to, and then we'll see what the new short track brings us when they get it. But the stands haven't been anywhere near full. The racing tour was, single file, and it's boring. If you don't like it, comment and tell me I'm an asshole, but I don't like it. They needed to go away. So hopefully it's a good change. We'll see no matter what, what happens, but it's been boring for years. Comment and tell me I'm wrong, but lots of good racing to keep interested, keep yourself vested in over the weekend. Again, if you don't watch this stuff normally, set the DVRs, give it all a chance. You might like it, and then set your DVR more. And, you got to give them a chance. Help those, especially the lesser known ones. You got to help them grow. Since Formula E 2, 3, and it's not really the most known stuff. So every little bit helps with them. So please do that. For me, also, let me know what side you're on in the comments in regard to Auto Club. Is the racing good? Do we need to blow it up? Stuff like that. Are you excited to see? Xfinity in the Cup Series this weekend or this year? What are you, most excited to see what can happen? Lots of questions I got. Your feelings on Triple Crowns, which I say are the most amazing thing that they do, mostly in Supercross, just because it makes everyone go all the time. And there's just so much aggression in hard racing. It's really exciting. Let me know. Your feeling on that. And Formula E, if you have any. Down. Set the damn DVR to record Sunday morning. Watch the damn thing, because it's really good racing, and I don't think enough people know about it or give it a shot. So check that one out. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, I'm on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Audible, Anchor, Good Pods, YouTube, Rumble, BitChute. Check all of those out. It helps me out. Share the hell out of it. Let me know your comments, and on all the links, you can find them everywhere. Everywhere it's Racing with Jesse Ruzinski, except on Twitter it's Racing Ruzinski, just because of the length. But let me know what you think. Share the hell out of it. I appreciate all y'all. I'll be back some shorts this weekend, and until we meet again, peace.